Yeah, but they were late. They were too late, in terms of the political momentum that had been built and the political movement that had been built was built.
Yeah.
And they show up and say, okay, well, we're going to do with the lottery. And that certainly undercut the draft resistance movement. But by that time, the entire country had been infected with the disease that had been just ours 5 years earlier. This was no longer 30 people walking around in a circle on a college campus. This was mothers and fathers with their children and grandmothers and students and non-students and coming out in floods and in some of the biggest demonstrations ever in American history up to that point. And the cat was out of the bag, and there was no stuffing it back in. It had happened, and which was what we set out to accomplish. Was we knew it was those people who were going to end the war. And we knew that our sacrifice and our willingness to pay such a heavy personal price would gain the attention of people who otherwise would never have taken students' anti-war movement seriously. And we upped the ante for everybody. And to their credit, the American people answered. And the one fact about this war that the government has tried its best to ignore and suppress is that this is the only war in American history that was stopped by an uprising of its citizenry. And the government was forced to retract its policy. This never made it into the Ken Burns movie, but this is the truth. There are two compelling truths about this war. And the first one is that it was wrong with a capital W. We killed 3 million people for no good reason. No good reason. That's the textbook definition of evil. And the second one is it stopped because the American people would not tolerate it anymore. And our movement was a big part of that. We were the moral shock troops.